Hey everyone, welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys?
So,
Folks out of town this week at EGLX in Canada, so I'm sure we'll have lots of fun news. But in the spirit of Spooky Month, I replaced him with a spooky oak tree picture for the
and
YouTube
it's bald
video.
too.
Yeah, it has no leaves, so it's bald like him, right? Because the leaves would be the hair. So it fits. And it's spooky. It's thematically appropriate all around.
Thematically appropriate.
What games have you guys been playing this week?
Same games as usual.
Are
Play
you
a little
watching the
while.
Lions game right now?
No, I turned it
Oh,
off.
okay. I was checking.
Yeah, I turned it off. I got it. For most of the week, I've been watching the league championships. NA is completely gone. We're done.
Hey, Team Liquid put in a real solid effort, and they won their first game or their second game today. But
No,
they
did not put any effort. They haven't improved in the last 4 years. Don't lie to ourselves.
No, you can't be like that. You guys, the Team Liquid, you did really well.
Well,
they did the
they've
same as last
improved,
year.
but other people have improved it better.
Yes.
Yeah, they basically have improved, but everybody else's curve is higher than ours, and we've just basically
Well, they're
just
working
steadied.
on it, okay? That you should not discourage them for next year. They got to get
No,
ready,
they're gonna-
get pumped. They're going to come back next year bigger and badder, and yeah.
You got to give them some time to get over this. Come on, it hurts every single year. It's the same thing.
Well, it
every
does
single
hurt,
year.
but
You
I will
build
be
it per
supportive.
year.
They did great. They'll do even better next time. Proud of you guys.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, I beat the last character in Slay the Spire, so I got all 3 of the characters done. And I played a little bit of Apex. We almost won, but we didn't.
Almost. So close. So close.
Almost. But I think that's about all. Oh, I've been playing 3 Kingdoms too. Running the same campaign. Trying different strategies to see if I can make it work.
Are you running the same campaign because you just cannot beat this one?
It has a very hard difficulty to start with, and it's a lot of fun. Like, the characters in it are a lot of fun to use. It's just the hardest start area. So.
Got you.
So, yeah,
I see.
That's what I've been playing.
I see. Well, I have been game hopping a lot, and we did not play Overcooked this weekend, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, I introduced my sister to Surgeon Sim, which I figured she wouldn't really care for. Like, it's one of those games that you play for 15 minutes, you're like, okay, I'm done. No. Like, this game is an affront to her. It has challenged her ability to focus and pay attention, and she only wants to beat every single level. Like, hands down, has way more patience at it than I do, but she's actually...
Yeah, she lost her patience, though, on that kidney level.
Okay, but to be fair, she tried that level so many times. She's on the second set. Like, the first set of operations is an operating room. It's fine. Everything's stationary, aside from when you drop stuff off the desks or whatnot, little trays and all. But the next one, the surgeon is riding on a gurney with the patient and, like, being shot, like, pushed down through hallways, and your little trays of supplies kind of come and go past you. So you have to try to grab what you need as it's next to you. And if you drop something, it's gone. You'll have to wait for it to respawn eventually on one of the trays that is flying past you and whatnot. And man, that's not easy. I applaud
Took me 47
her,
minutes to beat that level.
Yeah, chicken. She had to have
47
chicken
minutes.
help with with the kidney one, and it took 47 minutes in one level.
I will say, I was...
Take all your tools off the trays and put them on.
That's what he had, like, the
patient's
holy trinity
I
of
did.
syringes around this dude's neck, so that
because
he
I
always
stabbed
had one.
myself with the fucking needle, and I was all drugged up and hallucinating and shit, and I kept trying. The first blue needle fell to the side, and I couldn't reach it in the bed, so I had to find
It's
the
just
next
taunting
one.
It was right there on the
Yeah,
side.
and I put it on the bed so that I could always, in case I stabbed myself with the hallucinating one, I could always cure myself.
Man.
I spent 20 minutes drugged up. That shit was very annoying.
Her favorite is brain surgery, though. But I think it's because you have to crack the skull open like it was an egg. You have to use a hammer to crack it open, and I think for whatever reason that's like stress relief. But she had a lot of fun with that. And I've been game hopping and finally hopped my way over to Destiny 2 because I need a shooter. I'm not playing Overwatch right now because I'm still upset with Blizzard, which we'll talk about in a bit here, but I've been kind of like trying to find a game to to fill that niche for me. So I ended up in Destiny, and it's Destiny. I mean, like, it's not the greatest thing ever. It's not awful, but I tried the Crucible out because it's one of those things where it's like, this is your introduction to the game, and we want you to do everything so that you know what it's like. Do the Crucible. I'm like, all right. I figured it would do matchmaking as, like, here's a bunch of people similar to your same light level, even though the light level thing doesn't matter to Crucible because it, like, takes away all the added bonuses from that. It doesn't change the fact that people have really, really awesome and strong ultimates and then really, really awesome and strong weapons. So I was just getting, like, annihilated by these people that were, like, their light level things were, like, 990 and things. I'm like, thanks, matchmaking. I'm really glad you put me in with all the other beginners.
Can't wait for Halo.
That's why I was doing this, too. That was part of my motivation. Is I was like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do some of the campaign stuff because I want to, you know, that shooter, you know, fun times. But I also want to go ahead and start getting real-time practice in a game similar to Halo so that when Halo comes out, I'll be ready. And at least in Halo, you don't have 37 different versions of the BR, you know? It's like, here's the one that everybody has. There is no difference.
You can't load it out or make it fancy or anything like that. Everybody has the same weapon.
Yeah, so I got crushed. I helped. I mean, I didn't do, like, the worst I could have done. I could have gone in and gotten no kills. But I got 6. We still lost. I'm gonna say part of that losing was me, and also part of that losing was the fact that it was me and a new guy, and then the rest of our squad, and the other team, they were all over, like, 850 in light levels. So it's like, you got 2 scrubs over here that got nothing, and then you got all the good dudes over there. Oh. But that's what I did. What about you, Baka?
A little bit of World of Warcraft and lots of Friday the 13th. I played in a gay game the other day where a guy was running around as Jason using Ned Blender voice clips as he was taking people down.
Oh no!
And other than that, I was been playing some Super Metroid and went through and beat that one again.
Yay! Sometimes it feels nice to go back through old games and play them again.
For sure.
Yeah, still got it.
Oh, and Turtles in Time.
Oh.
But I didn't beat that one though. I died.
Oh, next time, Baka. You got the next one.
Well, it's been forever since I played it, so.
Well, the important part is that you had fun and enjoyed yourself. So, you know, I hope that you did.
Well, it would have been more fun if it beat it.
Next time, Baka. Next time. Those games are skill tests. You gotta, like, keep working at it until you build the skill up. Yeah, skill checks. That's what it was. So, you'll get it. I have faith in you. Okay, well, then we'll go ahead and jump into some news, and we'll get to last week's news first that we didn't get to last week, because, you know, stale. Which makes me want to punch people, because it's important.
Yes. We'll do the one thing that's a little off topic first.
Oh, you want to?
It's small.
Okay, go ahead.
It's small. We talked about Divinity Fallen Heroes, which is Larian's new game that they were making. It's almost going to be like XCOM.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going to be like XCOM style, but they have postponed it indefinitely. The studio that was helping them is going to focus on their own IPs, and Larian Studios is going to focus on their games too, which is probably Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, it probably wasn't progressing like they wanted it to, and instead of just wasting constant resources on it, they're like, let's come back to this when we have more time and resources to put towards it because it's not working.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is a huge fucking, like, probably the biggest project that they've ever worked on. It's a lot of anticipation. Yeah, a lot of anticipation, so they want to make sure
although
it
the
is
nerd
perfect.
in me is kind of bitching about something in the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer.
I haven't either. What's wrong with it?
Yeah, I all have. They did a teaser for it.
Well, I mean, yes, I know it exists, but I don't think I saw. Or no, I watched it, but I don't think I know what I should be bitching about because I've never played a Baldur's Gate game.
well, you're not like really familiar with a lot of D&D lore stuff, so.
Well, what was the problem? Tell me so that I am aware.
The dude turning into the mind flayer, that is it's not that quick of a transformation. Like, it's a lot more torturous and so slow paced.
Maybe
like,
somebody
over
figured out how to
years.
streamline the process.
I'm hoping that that's what they explained in the story, but as far as like how the mind players reproduce and make new ones, yeah, it's when they take people and they more or less like mentally torture them and mentally break them, and then they put some weird
Goo.
well, it's like a living creature thing or something, but it goes in them or something,
Ooh.
and it more or less starts making them change gradually.
Well, maybe they'll address that.
Can they be disguised as
Maybe.
humans?
Either that.
Do they do what?
Can they be like disguised as humans then, and then they just show their true form?
That's not the case of what was going on in that trailer, because the dude was in pain, so he was changing.
Or maybe it was part of the master plan. Make
Interesting.
them think it hurts us and it goes this fast. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they will tell us then.
I gotcha. But yeah, it's on Divinity. Fallen Heroes is on hold indefinitely. Unfortunately, I was a little excited for it, but it is what it is. And the other thing, which we're not going to get into for very much, Activision said Call of Duty Modern Warfare isn't going to do loot boxes anymore. Instead, they're just going to do battle passes, which is just
You said that really fast.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Not going to do loot boxes. Got to do battle pass. If you're playing any multiplayer game, you know what a battle pass is.
It gives me stuff. Then I can
Basically,
be cooler than somebody else because I bought the stuff.
It's a level system.
I gave him more money.
I guess it gives you access to some of the DLC though, right?
I don't think so.
No? Oh, okay.
You have to buy the battle pass.
It's just pretty things.
So yeah, it's a battle. Okay, the way it works.
I've never bought a battle pass. I'm sorry.
Okay, so a battle pass is like a ticket.
Yeah,
you buy a ticket.
Okay.
Then you can level up your account in the battle pass, and as your account levels up in the battle pass, you unlock things in each tier.
What kind of things?
You start
are they cosmetic things? Or
yes, it's only cosmetic.
Okay, so it gives you the ability
0.
to work towards specific cosmetics that people without the battle pass can't get.
Think of it like this. You know how games have achievements?
Yeah.
And you can unlock stuff with achievements?
It's seasonal
You have to pay for the achievements. You have to pay to have the ability to unlock achievements.
Well, that's weird. But okay.
That's how it's been for a while.
How did I manage to go this long without actually buying a battle pass or playing a game that needed a battle pass so that I had to know what it was?
Maybe because you don't play Call of Duty.
You don't play BRs or shooters very often. The only shooter you play was Overwatch.
True.
And they don't have a battle pass, which I'm actually surprised by.
Well, they'll probably be listening for anything that'll give them some extra money at this point. But
yep.
I got it. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm dumb. Oh, but it does circle us back around to Blizzard and all of the stuff happening around them. So, Chicken, I'm going to let you start this.
Yeah, shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 2 weeks ago, Hearthstone was hosting its Grandmaster Tournament finals. The guy won, and during the winner's interview, Blitzchung, during his winner's interview, came on the screen with a mask on and goggles, and said, "Do you know the exact words of what he said?"
I don't. Poop. The main thing I can remember is Revolution of Our Time.
We support Hong Kong. It's the revolution of our time. Something like that. Pretty close to that. Now the casters were like, okay, go ahead. And then they ducked their head when he went to say that. So he said that. Then they got taken off the air. He got banned for a year. The two casters got fired. And he lost all his prize money.
Yeah, Blizzard was basically like, we can't say that. We have this whole policy that it's definitely very specific right here. You see, it says that we can do whatever we want. So, screw you. We're taking your money. You're not going to play Hearthstone for a long time, and we fired those 2 casters because collateral damage and we don't care. So, that's super nice. You know? It's just...
Yes. Let's see if I can find. There's so much.
It was
to
really
this whole
swift
thing.
too. Like it was like in the moment, all of that stuff kind of happened one right after the other.
Yes.
So it wasn't like there was a discussion about whether or not they need, how they needed to deal with this punishment. It was the most severe punishment possible right out of the gate. It was like a very knee-jerk, instantaneous reaction to this because, oh noes, best not offend China. Whilst they're here trying to take over Hong Kong, well, nobody's looking, I guess.
Yes, if I could find the damn...
What are you looking for?
The actual response from Blizzard, which makes it look so much worse. Like, okay, he gets banned, they get fired, he loses his prize money. Okay, it's pretty bad. They also, Blizzard China, which is ran by NetEase, posted a response to it, which... I really want to make sure that I get this right, which I should have probably found it. It was pretty... If you find it, then you can go ahead and read it. It was pretty bad. And at the end, it basically sums up to nobody can talk bad about our country. Which is Blizzard saying this. Blizzard saying, don't talk bad about our country, which is China. Which is just completely inappropriate for a company, a U.S.-based company, to say that.
Yeah.
So that really, really wrinkled the wrong people, and all I could say is after that, it just blew up. Like, just blew up, shattered everywhere. People started deleting accounts, attacking Blizzard in a constant tirade of boycott Blizzards and trendings and all of everything.
Do you want me to read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, the rule that they cited for being able to take away his standings.
Now, are you reading the official one or the one from China?
No, this is the rule that they cited.
Okay.
It was engaging in any act that, in Blizzard's sole discretion, brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's Blizzard image, will result in removal from Grandmasters and a reduction of the player's total prize to $0 in addition to other remedies which may be provided under the handbook and Blizzard's website terms. So basically, we reserve the right to take everything away from you if you say something that somebody might find offensive. Oh, okay.
I would be okay with that if they were consistent with it.
They're
the
not,
problem
though.
is that they had an event earlier this year that was an LGBTQ event in which they spread just a large amount of influence to bring awareness to this issue. You want to keep social issues out of your game? You don't get to pick and choose.
Yeah.
That's not how it fucking works.
It's got to be an all or nothing thing, especially considering that they had that event, and then if you go to certain regions, like Tracer and 76 from Overwatch, they're both gay in canon in Overwatch. But if you go to certain regions, that's not the case because it's not cool for them to be LGBTQ. So you can't support a group in one place and not support them in another, and then be like, you can't bring anything political in. You already brought the political stuff in. I mean, it is picking and choosing. And I realize they're two different issues.
But China has the money.
They do. And unfortunately, we're really starting to see all of these companies are starting to get pulled out and have to show where their allegiance stands. Personally, freedom of speech and democracy, in my opinion, freedom of speech is regardless a human right. As a human, you have the right to say what you want. You should have the right to say that. You should have the right to choose how you want to be represented. But China is not allowing this. And China has such a strong grip in so many countries or in so many businesses across the world that they are starting to control what companies outside of their country can say or can do. Like the NBA thing. I know we're getting a little bigger, but this is going to be a
Well, I mean, but that's the thing, though, is people want to be, because let me tie this in really quick before you get to the NBA thing, is people get tired. There's a news fatigue that happens, and we're to that point, even just, a week or two out from this. Like when I watch the Twitter for when they post, when Blizzard posts new stuff, and both the Overwatch and the WoW Halloween events just started, and they posted about it, and people are posting in the comments, Hong Kong, we support Hong Kong, blah, 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 blah. And you will get people that comment underneath it, yawn, boring. No, this is indicative of a bigger problem. You want to bury your head in the sand right here because this is your video games and you shouldn't make it all about politics. It's not just politics in your video games. This is indicative of a larger problem that you should give a damn about.
Yes.
They should, or they could be hiring staff members to go in there and put that stuff under there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
As well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. By the way, I found the response, and it's on their, I think it's pronounced Weibo, which is the Chinese super social media thing, where
super Twitter for China.
Yeah, and your real life is associated to that, so they know who you are.
China has social credits and all that garbage.
You do something that is not Chinese approved, then your social credit goes down. You can't buy certain items. You basically get ostracized for not being.
Well, regardless, what did they post?
So their official response from their official Weibo account was, "We are very angered and disappointed at what happened at the event last weekend and highly object the expression of personal political beliefs in any of our events. As always, we will defend the pride and dignity of China at all costs." Word from word, verbatim. It's exactly what they said. The official Blizzard Weibo account tweeted, whatever, said that. That is crossing the line drastically. Personally, what I think happened was that NetEase, who is in control of the Blizzard China, went ahead very rashly and did this while Blizzard HQ was like, uh-oh.
Oh, shit,
but this is what happens when you give control of that kind of magnitude to a company like that, or to a side like that. And now Blizzard is eating shit for it. I've uninstalled all of my Blizzard games. I have prepaid time for WoW Classic, but after that my time is up. I'm probably not going to play.
Well,
and it fucking kills me because I've been waiting for this shit for so long. And then this, like, Blizzard has just been kind of going down ever since Activision and Blizzard merged, and they've just been going down, but I think this is just the icing on the cake. I think Blizzard is just dead in the water. I mean, it's still going to have its hardcore fans, but the people with some actual morals and beliefs will not stand with them anymore.
I mean, I was looking forward to the Halloween event, and we talked about why they hadn't started it yet and everything, which it was a little bizarre that they had held off, but part of that is because they didn't really give any new content anyway. But then this all happens, and it's one of those things where it's like, on principle alone, I don't want to play your game. I don't want to contribute to you thinking that you're still successful because you're supporting things that I very clearly do not support. And it was Blizzard as a company, too. Like, their whole motto is, like, this whole inclusive...
Every voice matters.
Every voice matters, which is, like, on their big sigil outside their compound. And employees wouldn't take paper over it, because obviously that's not what we are about now. Like, I can't...
No, it's about that dollar, especially the Chinese dollar. I mean, they're following the same route as Apple and Nike and...
A lot of companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney, I mean... But that's part of the issue when we outsource. Hey, we'll have it be made over in China because it's cheaper over there, and then we can just have it shipped over here. I mean that's been part of the issue for a long time, is that all these companies outsourced all this stuff.
Well, and they're so dependent on one nation instead of several.
They're so dependent.
It's just not.
They bend it too hard. They bend too hard to get into that market, because to get into the Chinese market, you don't have any wiggle room. You don't have the freedoms to to do any sort of art that you want, you have to conform to what they allow.
Yes.
And too many companies are conforming too freely now.
Well, and the thing
but
is,
the
we're
good thing
looking
is,
at it right now in respects to China because it's in our face, but they're not the only country that
the
companies
Chinese
do this
Communist Party, I will say.
But that's the
Chinese
thing,
Communist
though,
Party.
is it's not just that country that censors things, and I've made that
No,
point
it's not.
before. It's just some of them have been more reasonable about what gets censored and what doesn't. Some of it's not so much. Like, we all laughed about, Australia saying that South Park had to be censored as a game because some of the stuff it censored was, okay, fine, that's risque and gross humor, all right, but some of it was like, you want to be upset about that? Because why? But now you're censoring what people think, and you're trying to control how people think, and we're just looking at it in respect to this one country. It's not just China. It's just that China has the biggest money involved in it.
And speaking of South Park, 'cause that was a great thing. The South Park thing happened just a few days before the Blizzard thing. Is their episode that they came out bashed? Like, I am talking full on Negan bashed China for the way they handle things. Mm-hmm. And you know what China did the day after? They erased
They scrubbed their
South
internet
Park from their
South Park.
internet.
Yep.
Yep. There was also
because
something else that they
scrubbed.
Oh,
yep. And,
most
and
recently,
South Park did a fake apology to him, and it's like, we called out China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely don't think your leader looks like Winnie the Pooh at all. Man, that dude's got some really snowflake feelings getting hurt over there.
And yesterday, everybody knows PewDiePie. He's a bit of a troll and very straightforward. He's been in the limelight for so long, he's not afraid of anything. He is now permanently banned from China because he started making memes about Hong Kong. And they were like, no. So they completely erased him from the internet too. They are trying to stop anything and every. So, if anybody who watches this is in China, I'm sorry, but we're gonna disappear forever.
Yeah, I mean, we're a small creator, and a lot of people are like, "You're so small. What you say doesn't matter." If enough small people say what they think and stand where they want to stand on it, yeah, it starts to matter. So if we get banned from China for the one person that listens there, I'm sorry, one person, dude, but your government is wildly out of control.
Yes.
A lot of governments are wildly out of control right now. This one's just one of the ones that we're looking at.
China relies on being in the dark, but because of Hong Kong and everything that is happening, they don't have the option to hide anymore. Everybody gets to see how awful they are, all the shitty things that they do.
And this never would have happened. We never would be talking about this in this forum, which means a lot of people that would never be exposed to this side of, a political struggle. The reason this happened is because they made a knee-jerk, rash decision while they tried to control things, but they were controlling something that was seen on a global scale instead of just
that
a
is what
very
the Communist Party
scale.
does.
But that's the thing is that was the mistake, and Blizzard's taking the fall for it, and it's not. It kind of sucks because it hurts everybody involved, even if they weren't directly involved, because the Blizzard stuff on the West, like there was supposed to be an Overwatch meet and greet because Overwatch just came out on the Switch. In New York this past week, and it got canceled because you don't know what's going to happen, and they don't want to give protesters a platform to show up in free Hong Kong shirts and meme it up, revolution of our time and all of that stuff. I can't help but wonder what's going to happen, not next weekend, but the weekend after that, which is BlizzCon. I mean, I didn't buy the virtual ticket because I'm not giving that company any money right now. But
it is next weekend, or not this? No, it's not this weekend.
No, it's not the
26th.
It's the first and second,
the
or
second,
third. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna be
also,
watching
to add on to
everything to see how that goes down.
Them canceling the Overwatch event. They also postponed the WoW event in Taiwan because they were afraid of what would happen there. Because Taiwan is not a real country either in the
according
eyes of China.
To China, yeah.
Yes.
They think it's Chinese owned, and it's not.
This started becoming more regular knowledge to me, but Ali, as you watch, and we talked about it pretty heavily in Discord chat last night. But the 9-dash line that China tries to use to exert
that bullshit old map.
Yeah, to exert their territorial control, which extends into Taiwan, the Philippines, and I can't remember the last one. There's 3 countries.
I can't remember
like
either. I know we were talking about it, but it escapes me off the top of
Yes.
my head.
But yes, and they're trying to force this old map is their territory, and they're trying to use that as a reason to take it over, to take it from whoever is in charge currently, which again is bad. I mean, they're sovereign nations. You can't just claim them.
You can't just be like, nope, this mine now. This map
that's
says
not
this
how the
mine.
fucking world.
Like,
It's not how the world works. But they're gonna try to make it
that.
like that, and I will say, for the turmoil that is in our country, the United States, it is okay because some of our politicians are starting to put pressure on Blizzard because they are an American company. But they are
have
bending
so many
to
Chinese investments. That's the thing. That's why we, like, this past week or last week maybe, we were surprised to see Epic. Tim Sweeney came out and was like, we're not going to punish anybody for supporting Hong Kong because that's how we feel about it, even though Epic has, I think it's like a 41 share.
It's a 40% owned by Tencent.
Yeah, by Tencent, which is a Chinese company. So things like that shouldn't surprise us, but it does. At this point, it's shocking to see people actually say, you know, this is where our money is right now, but we're not gonna bend the knee, essentially. And I know that this seems wildly away from gaming. Again, this is one thing that happened in the gaming world that is indicative of a much larger problem that you should be aware about and that you should care at least a little about. Because while it's Overwatch and Hearthstone and World of Warcraft right now that's getting censored and getting a lot of flack thrown its way, what happens when it's your favorite franchise? Are you just gonna sit there and be completely oblivious to everything that happened until your favorite franchise is no longer recognizable as your favorite franchise because China said this, and this have to be censored out of it, and you make the Pikachu face? You're all of a sudden just shocked? Don't do that. Don't put your head in the sand over issues that you think, I don't care, and these are just my games where I escape. Yeah, what happens when you can't do that anymore because the games that you escape into aren't recognizable? They've been so censored and so just completely ripped bare of everything that you liked about it because in some country somewhere else that makes a lot of money that you don't ever care about, they don't like that sort of thing. Just think about it in that respect. So you can say all you want right now that you're not a fan of Overwatch, so who cares that Blizzard's hurting or Hearthstone or whatever. But when it's Call of Duty that they come for, or whatever it is that you play that they come for, then you will change your mind.
Yeah, Call of Duty will be next because
Activision.
Yeah, Activision.
Activision Blizzard, right there.
But,
yep.
I mean, I gotta. Okay, all of this aside, at the end, you're still a human.
And you should care about
people in
the
Hong
other
Kong
humans you have to share this
are
planet with.
fighting for the stuff that you take for granted.
Yep.
Being able to walk around and say what you want, being able to troll how you want, being able to say whatever you want on the internet. They don't get that option. You lose.
Or well, they're looking at not getting that option if China takes them over.
Okay, fine. Imagine yourself in China. You don't have. Eventually, this is what's going to be. What's going to happen to Hong Kong, is if they lose the right to free speech and their way of life. What you say online, and you try to troll, your social level will go down. You will not be allowed to buy video games. You will not be allowed to go to the store and buy anything that you want. You are not allowed to socialize with anybody that you want because people will not socialize with you because your credit is low. You're not worth it. That is not the way humans should be controlled. I mean, to a certain extent, we need some moderation to keep ourselves from expanding too far. But that kind of
we need
constricting
boundaries,
control,
but that's too much.
Yes, absolutely. We like fields to roam and be free. We don't like to be penned up, in which we're told what we can and can't do. And even people on the internet and the people that are normalcy and don't think of anything affecting them, it will eventually. Because China will become a superpower, and they will start getting the biggest say on how the world starts evolving. Mm-hmm. So if we don't say something now, we won't get the chance later.
Yep.
So you sit behind your computer and you be a keyboard warrior and whatnot. Just keep talking about it. Make memes. Make China ban everything. Just annoy the shit out of them. Do your trolliest thing ever and just keep spamming them.
Yep.
Everywhere they fucking turn is going to be something else they've got to ban. Everything. Use Disney, use Apple, use Blizzard, use anything that
Well,
you can
after
find.
that happened with the Blizzard thing, one of the things that people started doing was trying to elevate Mei from Overwatch as a symbol of the Hong Kong Revolution.
Which is working too, because now if you look at it, you see
Well,
Mei.
because what happens when you get to the point where Mei is immediately associated with this movement that China doesn't want? She's a Chinese character in one of Blizzard's games. Do they make Blizzard remove her from the game because they don't like it? Like the president over there has made them remove Winnie the Pooh from everything? I mean, like, at what point... Or
PewDiePie, or South Park, anything that they don't agree with.
But that does start, but the thing is this is something that directly affects a game that you possibly play. What if your favorite champion is Mei? And then all of a sudden, you can't play her because they removed her from the entire game because she was associated with being a symbol of something, of this fictional character. So then it does affect you. And it starts there, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Those kinds of problems don't go away. They continue to snowball, especially if you're not looking at them. So I'm sorry. If you're tired, if you've hit the news fatigue on this issue, it's 2 weeks out, and you just don't care anymore. Stop. Care. At least a little. Because the fact that you can say what you want on the internet and things like that, those are things that other people, like Chicken said, don't have right now. Or are looking at losing, and you take it for granted. I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing about it, but I'm not going to let it go away.
If you have a Twitter and you see a Hong Kong meme, retweet it. That's it. There you go.
And then get banned in China. You know, country
Blizzard
out there
started
that you
banning
can't go
people.
to anymore.
Blizzard started banning people in Hearthstone chat because it would just be nothing but free Hong Kong. Like, every one of their fucking streams is nothing but free Hong Kong. Like, they are just, every time they put their face out, they get slapped with another free Hong Kong sign. They have a hard time doing anything without all of this stuff just pouring onto them. And that's what we have to keep doing. We are in a new age in which protesting is different than it's ever been. Since everybody is connected, we may not be able to get together to protest, but goddamn, can we make everybody see everything that we're doing?
Yes.
Just keep pushing it on them. If they have to ban everything, hell, if they have to delete their internet to keep their people blind and dumb, then that's what we'll make them do. But we have to make them do it. Or else they're just going to keep growing.
We'll have another North Korea at that rate.
Yeah, no shit. But force them out of the world game. Just keep pushing onto them.
Sure took a little turn for the unusual for us. We don't usually talk politics and whatnot, but this one was worth talking about.
There are some things that have to be talked about, have to be addressed like this. Kind of in that same vein, it's kind of funny that Blizzard has gone to bat so hard for China. And they're about to get shit on pretty heavy.
What do you mean about to?
Okay, this article I just found earlier, but it's about Riot, who is fully owned by Tencent.
Yes.
100% ownership by Tencent.
Yes, they
now,
are.
they just had their 10-year anniversary. Okay? Now remember, but after we just talked about Blizzard, they just went to bat to keep their games and everything in China.
Yep, and
Riot
then everybody
is a fully
outside of
owned
China has started
Chinese game.
pulling away.
Yes. So Riot decided to announce a bunch of games.
Well, they had already, to be fair, Riot had already planned these announcements because it was
but
their
this is
10-year
just
anniversary.
icing on the cake.
Yeah, it just so happens that this timing could not have been more serendipitous for Riot, even though people are gonna forget about, like, overlook the fact they're owned by a Chinese company. People are
I'm watching very carefully if they say anything, then it's instantly gone.
Talk about what they announced.
They declared war on Blizzard. In a sense, like, straight up declared war on Blizzard, even as a Chinese company declared war on a Chinese bitch company. So now it's like Blizzard went to bat for nothing. So they announced a mobile game, a mobile card game that you could play on your phone.
Yep.
They announced League of Legends Wild Rift, which is League of Legends for your phone and consoles. They announced a League of Legends shooter style.
So it's going to be like
a lot
Overwatch.
like Overwatch.
So basically they've got a League of Legends Hearthstone, a League of Legends Overwatch, and they're going to be on console with their main game.
And they announced an action RPG, which is going to be like Diablo. And they announced a fighter game.
Oh, and also an anime.
Yes, and an anime. So they are basically full out, straight going, being like, "Oh, you like Blizzard games? Well,
Here
too
are
bad.
our copies of
Chinese
all of
market's
them."
going to switch over to Riot's version of these games because they're
Because it's
full
Tencent.
funded. Yep. And Blizzard has already lost the faith of the Western markets, and they're going to lose the Eastern markets. I hope that they fucking crumble, and eventually Activision just has to fully absorb them, and Blizzard is no more. I feel bad for saying that.
But they
But
really stepped out of line here.
They're spineless now. They don't have anybody to stand up to Big
Well,
Brother
to be
Activision
fair,
or Big
with
Brother
Blizzard,
China.
like, this is something that has been coming and has been evident to a lot of long-term fans for a while now, because even their content, like I was talking to Foxy the other day about World of Warcraft stuff, and the World of Warcraft content has been stale for years. It's one of those things where people went back to Classic because it was a change and it was kind of a going back to something that actually presented a challenge, whereas all of the current expansions for retail WoW have been samey. They've been really bland. They've been really watered down. It's just, there's no challenge to a lot of things. It's like, here, go put 15 hours into killing the same enemy for the next 30 weeks because then you'll get something out of it. They don't have great leadership right now. And they've kind of lost the leadership that was really passionate about that game and about Blizzard products in general have all gone. Like, they've all left. They were pushed out after the Activision merger, and it's been going downhill.
Mike
since
Morhaime
then.
tried to hold out as best as he could, but after they pushed him out, they didn't even give Blizzard their CEO back. All they have is a president. President.
Yeah.
The leader
Well,
of the
it's because
business.
Activision is in charge of them now. Like,
They are
fully
now.
in charge. And that was Activision's plan all along. So, surprise, surprise. And, you know, I guess it feels weird because I'm talking about all of this in relation to the fact that at the start of the show I mentioned I was playing Destiny, which originally was Bungie and Activision.
But it is not anymore.
It's not now. I ended up not playing that game until after Bungie had split, moved it over to Steam, and made it free to play. So I'm not paying a cent. So even though Activision would have gotten kickback off of things like that, like,
it goes to Bungie now. Bungie's by themselves, which is fine. Like, I feel good about, going to them now. Like, Destiny, I feel like I can play. I've started playing Apex. EA is bad, but at least they're keeping their mouth shut.
It's sad when
for
there's
now.
companies that make you forget how bad EA is. Like, that says something.
Yeah. Ain't that the fucking truth?
Uh.
And I will say that some things have been popping up about the developer of Tabletop Simulator because they started banning people for saying free Hong Kong in general chat. Now they have come out and said, hey, we support Hong Kong. We're right behind them. But general chat is not for politics. Okay, folks? Any politics gets banned. You can rejoin the general chat, but just keep it out of there. We're right there with you. We understand, but keep it out of general chat. Which is fair, because they came out afterwards and was like, we support them, we're good, just keep it out of our game.
Yeah.
We understand. I mean, if you say that you support Hong Kong, you best get ready for China to give you the fucking boot.
Yeah.
So if anybody sees that, you don't gotta freak out.
At least Nintendo will never bend to them.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, it's
hell
a Japanese
no.
company, so no, never.
Yeah.
Sony won't either. Sony or Nintendo will never bend the knee to China. Hell, they just recently got the Switch in there, like last year or some shit. After a lot
Yeah,
of
it was recent.
tumultuous
Yeah.
discussion. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
discussions.
yeah, like China and Japan, like they didn't even have the original Nintendo and stuff. Like they had really bad knockoffs.
Oh yeah, it's really rough between China and Japan. Everybody knows there's a lot of history there. So, but yeah, that's kind of where we stand. Support Hong Kong.
That is where we stand. Support Hong Kong is where this podcast stands, and all of us associated with it. So
yes,
we'll never be going to China. Sorry.
No.
I mean, unless things drastically change over there with their leadership, in which case, yes, progress. If not, sorry.
Oh, here's another thing for that whole thing. After the Grandmasters happened during their collegiate tour, one of the college teams, American University, right before they lost, they held up a free Hong Kong sign. Blizzard didn't do anything.
Yeah, Blizzard chose not to punish them for some reason.
Right. Isn't it weird that they didn't want to like punish straight across the board?
Yeah, it's that pick
So
and
they
choose
forfeited
thing.
the rest of their games. They're like, okay, if you're not going to punish us,
We'll
go
punish
ahead
ourselves.
and punish ourselves. Eventually, Blizzard came out and punished them after some blowback or some shit like that. They were like, oh yeah, I guess we should punish you.
And well, that's
Really?
the thing is that's why it stands out so much is because the Blitzchung thing happened immediately, and then something like that, Blizzard's like having internal talks about what they're gonna do about it.
And they've stopped doing after game interviews and game cameras.
Yep. So.
And they did. I don't know if we went over this, but for Blitzchung, they gave him his prize money back, reduced his suspension to 6 months.
They decided to backtrack on it. They reduced
Blizzard
the suspension to 6 months.
HQ decided to backtrack on
Reduced the suspension to 6 months, gave him his money back, and I think they gave the jobs back to the casters.
They're both on 6 month suspension too.
So.
Which is still too much in my opinion, and some of the U.S. politicians agree and have written a letter, a very strong worded letter, being like, hey, you're a U.S. company. You should not be...
Well, it's because at this point, it's a foreign country is interfering with how U.S. businesses run their day-to-day.
Yes,
and that
is not how it works.
Yeah, that's not cool.
So you are a U.S. company, you abide by U.S. laws, and what you are doing is suppression in another country. No, that's not the laws you follow. You're just picking and choosing what you decide to do in different countries. Like, I mean, I understand if there's like a censorship law.
Slide, we can share some of that billions of dollars that China's giving us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. There's one thing that will always get Americans riled up, and that's freedom of speech. You dare try to take that away from us, and you best be ready for a fucking war. Because people in this country sure as hell love to say whatever they want to say. That's for sure.
Well, it's not so much they love to say what they want to say. They love to have the option to say what they want to say.
Yes.
I mean, that's the biggest part of it. It's not like we're all just walking around being like, you suck and I hate you and your hat is ugly. We're like... I want the option to say that with no repercussion, but I'm not generally gonna do that.
Yep, and this letter is written bipartisan too. Both sides of the
like,
aisle is full on.
Finally,
being like,
something politicians in this country can agree on.
Yeah, like that comment. I'd forgotten what bipartisanship is a really thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But yeah,
that's refreshing.
We will probably talk about this every week, because it's something new is happening every single fucking week.
Like, I mean,
hey,
until World War III starts or this all gets its shit sorted out,
Yes.
Whichever one happens first.
Always support
Hopefully,
Hong
the getting everything sorted out happens first. Let's go with that one. That's the best option here.
Because World War III would not be fun.
Nobody wins if that happens.
Not with our current administration.
Let's not get into U.S. politics. Let's not get into UK politics either. No, we should not, just because we're a U.S. podcast. And we are not the only ones having some issues right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
Having trouble.
World in chaos. Although it does mean that we are one step closer to all of our favorite post-apocalyptic games being the actual way of our lives now. So, we're on the way. One day, we'll all be living Fallout style.
We just need to get a giant spin thing and just spin, and we'll see which one it lands on.
Which game reality are we about to inherit here,
Yeah. I vote Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout, I'd be okay with that. Because then I could wander around. I don't know. Being a ghoul means you get to live for a really long time. I don't really see the downside of being it. Well, so? I'm already that. Done.
No, you're not.
Mission
Don't
accomplished.
start with me.
My skin will just look a bit different, and I will probably have no hair. But you can find wigs in the Fallout universe, so it's not like I can't fix that. I don't see... I mean, I, for one, would love to be a ghoul. Probably the only one here. But that's okay. I'll live all of them.
I wouldn't mind it, as long as I don't go feral.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the downside of ghoul, is there's a possibility that you live so long that you do turn feral. But I think as long as you can, like, every time there's people or, like, you have new friends because your old ones died off because they were human, you just be like, look, if I start to turn feral, you have to make sure that you just put an end to me. That's the agreement. You just keep passing that agreement along. Till it happens, or until there's no humans left and just ghouls. And then,
Then everybody turns feral.
And then it's a feral party and nobody cares because everybody's lost their minds. Yay! Pass the rad roach meat.
Then we're all slaughtered by death claws.
Yeah. That's not a bad way to go, I guess, if you're feral. Might as well. You probably don't know any better. Did you check your Lions game? You look sad.
Yeah, we lost, but I went to Reddit, and there's always something new happening on Reddit for Hong Kong and whatnot. I don't know why, but the police sprayed one of the mosques with blue paint, and then the protesters were out cleaning it up all day because the protesters are not bad. They're just doing what they need to do.
They're just citizens.
And then this picture fucking it kills me because while they were throwing tear gas into the crowd, it got a pigeon.
Oh.
And the pigeon is on the ground, and there's a bunch of protesters around with water trying to help clean its face off.
Oh, poor pigeon. Pigeons are trash birds, but still living creatures.
Yeah, they're trying to clean. They got a bunch of water bottles just kind of trying to clean it off.
Oh.
Like, these are not awful people. Look at the people on the other side. The poor bird. It was just flying around.
They're wanting freedom of speech made them do that.
Oh, yeah.
Damn you for wanting to have basic human rights. The ability to love who you want to love. Screw you. Whatever. Yeah. Stop making yourself sad.
I'm not. It makes me happy that they are being so nice, but it makes me sad that we're in this position.
Yes. Well, we will not always be so politically ranty. Thank you for sticking with us if you have through our rants. It's rants worth having. They're not just crazy face rants. But I'm going to bring it back to video games because I got to go record some Red Dead, and I didn't record any last week. I'm going to record some this week. I think it's going to go bad. Anytime I take time off from playing a game, regardless of what game it is or how many times I've played it, I come back to it and I'm like, oh man, I'm garbage. What happened? I'm more garbage than usual. Let me amend that, because we all know how often I crash my horse into stuff and all of that. I'm more garbage than usual when I come back to it. Stop yawning. We'll get out of here
very much.
so the chicken can go take a nap and I can go record some Red Dead and be terrible at it.
I don't sleep.
He doesn't.
I don't sleep. I don't sleep enough either.
Work on Krillin.
Just so you can smash him, because that's what happens to Krillin.
Do you know how to do the outro?
I got Frieza that I can kill him with, or I can put him in the pose since I have 18, because they gave him a shocked expression.
Oh.
Where like and on the box it shows her kissing his cheek.
Oh, cute. Cute.
I'll do that picture first, but before I kill him.
Oh.
You gonna put a little firecracker in him and blow him up like
No!
he did?
No, not gonna destroy him. I'm just gonna have Frieza kill him, and then that way, my Super Saiyan Goku has a reason to go Super Saiyan.
There you go. Make it happen. Well then, chicken.
I could recreate all the scenes if I get all the characters.
Stop spending money, Baka. We'll talk about that later. Be mad at you here in a minute.
This is a birthday gift, though.
I'll let you do the outro, chicken, because we all know how great I am at it.
Well, I'll do my own then.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks everybody for hanging out and getting through this show with us. I know it was a little bit heavier than our normal show, but we appreciate it, and I hope that you could take some of what we said to heart, because it is important. Besides that, thank you for hanging out. We'll be back next week to do another show. Damn, I'm doing my my stream outro rather than the show outro.
Hey, whatever. Just as long as you can get us out of here.
You can find us on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can find me personally at EliteChicken313. You can find Grif
At Grif Slanum.
and Baka.
Baka Pickle.
You can also catch me Sunday
don't
through
forget
Thursday.
Oh, he's at MDB Oak Tree. Almost forgot.
And Oak. At MDB Oak Tree. We'll say it twice. We'll give him an extra little push right there.
There you go.
And you can catch me streaming Sunday through Thursday every night at 7 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I got a dentist appointment. I'm going to
have some work
not
done.
be able to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Not
when
looking
you're
forward to
not
that.
streaming, or if you want to have regular updates about when he is or is not streaming, I will put a link to our Discord, well, his Discord that we all hang out on down below.
All the time.
And you can join the chicken coop and hang out with the rest of us cool kids. Yeah.
Yes. And you can also find Oak on Mixer at mixer.com/mdboaktree. He streams pretty regularly except for Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Is it Wednesdays?
I think those are his off days.
Okay. Saturday, I'm pretty
think.
sure you're right about. Wednesday, I wasn't sure about.
I think it's Wednesday, too.
You know what?
Well,
He talks about when he's going to post or when he's going to stream on his Twitter. So, at mdboaktree on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can find
There's
out.
a third push. And if none of us are on and you need something to watch, then you can find the prettiest of us on
Baka?
YouTube.
Baka's on YouTube? Aww.
I said prettiest, not hairiest.
I think Baka's prettiest.
I think he's the hairiest.
I think you need new glasses, but
Well, that
I think
is
everybody needs new
true,
glasses because
but-
apparently nobody can see. Anyway, you can find Grif on youtube.com/a bunch of numbers that she will put a link down below.
Yes, I'll put a link. I also post all of my stuff. When I post it, I make a post on Twitter too. So, you know, it's a good place to find me. But yes, I'm playing Red Dead right now. I don't know what's up after
Still.
Red Dead because it's going to take 30 billion years to finish Red Dead. I thought about taking a break for Spooky Month and playing a spooky game, but I really want to finish Red Dead this century. So.
Well, this decade, you've only got a few weeks left.
A few months, yes.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate it, and we will see you next week.
bye.
Bye.